Hey science crew, we're going to jump into this idea of natural selection. This is a pretty cool process and you're going to get this a lot over the next few years you take life sciences. So let's just get started. This will be a brief introduction to natural selection. So natural selection is the process by which species adapt to their environments. This is why all the species that you see are so cool and so crazy unique to their own specific little environment. Okay, whether that's the puffer fish from yesterday, or the poison dart frog, or the Canada geese that fly in flocks and migrate. These are all adaptations that come through this process of natural selection. Okay, here for example we have the American beaver. It's got sharp teeth for chopping down and chewing on trees, and it's got webbed feet for swimming. These are all adaptations for its specific environment and for its specific behaviors. Okay, so here's the process of natural selection. Okay, these very brief basic steps. You'll get this when you watch the other video as well. So first step in the process, we have organisms that produce more offspring than can survive. It's a fact of life. Here we have a bear that has maybe 4 cubs. Unfortunately, not all of them are going to survive. That's just how it is. And step number 2 here we have organisms of the same species have some different traits. Okay, you can take a look at these puppies. They might be siblings. They're definitely the same species. They have different traits. You can see that they have different hair colors. They might have different eye color. They might have different behaviors. Okay. So then the next key to natural selection is that traits have to be able to be passed down to offspring. Okay, so that could be hair color, leg length, the behaviors of being active at night or in the morning. Those are adaptations or traits that can be passed down from generation to generation. However, things that don't get passed down are like broken arms, or if you dyed your hair red, that is not a trait that your offspring will inherit from you. Okay? Or animals will inherit from their parents as well. So step number 4 here, we have certain traits are helpful, and organisms with those helpful traits survive longer and produce more offspring with those similar traits. So here we have an example. We got the cheetah and the gazelle. The cheetah has a cool, crazy adaptation of being a super fast runner, and that running speed, he needs to be fast enough to catch his food, and if he survives and catches that food and lives long enough to reproduce, he's going to pass down those traits to his offspring as well. And the same thing goes for that gazelle. If it lives through this moment, it's going to survive to pass down its crazy running speed to its offsprings as well. Okay. And so over time, the organisms with these helpful traits are more common. Okay, so only the fastest cheetahs are going to survive, and only the fastest gazelles are going to survive. And that's the process of natural selection. Okay, it basically gets rid of any organisms that just can't survive. Okay, or maybe they're not suited for the environment that they're in. They just don't survive to pass down their traits. Okay, so here's what you're going to do next. You're going to take notes while watching or reading the other resources that are posted on Canvas, and then I would like you to submit 3 things you learned and 1 question you have about natural selection. Okay, and we're going to dig into this more, but I want you to get started and think about these processes of natural selection and how these animals get crazy adaptations. Okay?